The Fedrigoni Young Creatives Network brief required a concept that showcases the material qualities of their paper by delivering a fully integrated multi-channel campaign. The project is fairly open with a few fixed requirements like the print materials and showcasing their paper ranges. The project began with background research into the company and their papers, as well as their different clients. The brand's identity and values were explored, as well as previous successful campaigns. Market research was carried out by analysing their strengths and weaknesses against the current social and economic climate and their current competitors. Brainstorms were created with the possibilities of each paper range explored to understand the unique qualities of each paper and how they could translate into a specific campaign. 3 proposals were drafted up for Terray, Espira and Constellation paper with a specific target audience in mind. Each paper drafted a unique and possible campaign to explore further. The chosen paper was Constellation due to its unique reflective qualities and texture. The campaign would be directed to boutique jewellery and perfume industries, using an event direct mail and web design. These sectors rely on sensory experience and narrative campaigns, so it needed to feel premium. Fedrigoni also uses a strong sustainability message in their company, which needed to be taken into account when designing. Understanding this shaped the tone, materials, and emotional arc of the project. A target audience was identified as a millennial demographic. Variations of the proposal were created, with the final outcome taking elements from both proposals to form the campaign. This would be a walk-through, interactive tunnel, and direct mail, showcasing the paper through more interactive elements. A web aspect would also be included, delivering the storytelling across channels. Furthermore, the brief's criteria was analysed to understand whether the proposal misaligned with the target audience and client. 2 further concept boards were produced and analysed, addressing the objectives in a different way. Previous assumptions were considered and challenged, focusing on the company's strong environmental message, which helped form the idea surrounding a climate change message regarding light pollution. This became the emotional core of the project, aligning the material's star-themed embossing with a meaningful environmental narrative. Other aspects for the design were considered in order to incorporate shock, humour and empathy into the design to connect the audience in different ways. For example, a social media promotional video was designed with the idea of someone creating an origami star out of the constellation paper and sending it off into the sky, as if wishing on a star to create empathy. Draft sketches of various proposals were created to help visualize new ideas. The direct mail and event touchpoint allowed for experimentation with 3D modelling software to create the deliverables. Blender was used to create the tunnel and, using the light and materials modifiers, a spectacular effect was created showcasing how the tunnel would look in person. The event visualizes the disappearance of the night sky, creating empathy. Visitors enter a star-filled space with sporadic stars shining throughout in a paper-made constellation crafted using the constellation paper range. A message was wrote out in Illustrator regarding light pollution, which would be printed onto the side of the tunnel that visitors could read as they walk through, evoking shock. The event would launch at a boutique store, Fenwick, which has various locations across the UK and houses many luxury brands. The audience would also receive an astronomy-themed invitation introducing a subtle layer of humour, which also doubled as a bookmark. This bookmark would also be made out of the constellation paper range. Samples were ordered from Fedrigoni to understand how the paper acted in person to help form the campaign. There would also be a chance to record a wish via a QR code to evoke empathy whilst at the event. To conclude, this project showcases the paper in a unique and innovative way which responds effectively to the Fedrigoni brief. The concept for the walkthrough exhibit with a sustainability message is a creative way of promoting the paper range as a luxury-aligned, emotionally rich material with a strong narrative element, perfect for perfume and jewellery brands wanting to do the same for their products. Overall, there are a few elements that could be developed further to increase harmony between all touchpoints and quality of a few deliverables. However, the outcomes were successful in answering the brief.